Okay, so hi everyone, welcome to this extra video for our first courseworks. This is for COMP3218, Game Design and Development at the University of Southampton. My name's Dave Millard and I'm here with...
I'm Tom Blount.
So we're both lecturers on the course. So this is an extra video to pick up one of the games that we missed on our first way through for various reasons. Tom, do you want to just remind everyone what we asked the students to do?
Yeah, so for this coursework, we wanted the students to make a small game prototype that had a strong core dynamic, and we asked them to design a way of tutorializing that aspect to the player.
Brilliant. Okay, so let's try this game, which I think is called RGBreakout. So
RGBreakout.
Yes. Oh, there we go. So
okay, so we've got some nice music in the background.
So
oh, there we go. Movement. There's that tutorial in the bottom right.
So okay, standard
jump
space, interact with E. Okay, and then click on here. So again, kind of, it's annoying to have.
Well, we're going to need the mouse to look around, I think.
Oh, here we go. Oh yeah, there we go. Ah, right, okay. So
it's very dark. I don't know how dark it'll show up on YouTube, but we can sort of just about make out the first room.
So is it space is jump and
space
E
jump.
was...
There we go, interact. So we've turned on the light.
Was that?
It was not.
So was that?
So certain platforms only appear under certain lights.
Okay.
Which is kind of nice, and they don't directly state that to the player.
No.
But there is also not a lot else for you to do other than trying to interact with the Switch, I suppose.
So one of the things I'm wondering here, it would have been nice if so this is a white light and that's a white platform, but I don't know if that's significant because these platforms are white as well.
Yeah.
So I presume I can't go. What happens if I? No, I won't jump down there.
I assume you die.
So there's nowhere else for me to go, but there's nothing over here.
Oh, okay.
All right,
so that's kind of nice. It'd be nice if there was some indication that we should go over there, but again, there's, like you say, there's nowhere else really for us to go, so we are being sort of corralled along the correct route.
Let's try in here. So this light also is off.
Oh, is the door just shut behind you?
I think it has.
It's difficult for us to see now.
But there's a switch, so let's try that.
Okay, and this time we've got a cube.
A cube has appeared.
So I guess we need to jump.
And jump is that one. So, okay, let's try... This is going to be quite hard, I think.
First-person jumping platformers are always...
Oh,
okay, good. So we've got
yeah.
checkpoints in the right places.
That's
good. What we were testing.
There we go. Really made it this time. Okay.
That's it. So it is kind of annoying that there's no goal for us to get over to the other side, but I really do like that animation that appears.
Actually, so the other thing is that although it maybe is a little bit less obvious in that room, because the first one is so obvious, we do now clearly know what we're doing. So they do kind of lead you quite well. Okay, so this is interesting. So
this time we've got a block with another switch on it.
Another switch. Ooh. So let's try... What happens to that do?
And that adds another block. Okay,
so there was no light there. I'm now a bit confused about what the relationships are between the blocks and the lights. But
yeah, it looks like that was sort of well lit by the previous light. So
yeah. So why didn't it appear?
Yeah. Okay. Now we've got 3 switches.
So I've got 3 switches. So let's go and have a look. So let's try the blue one.
Okay. So
blue one.
We've turned on the blue light.
So that what did that do? So that just illuminated what was already there by the looks of it.
Seems to, but if we turn on the green light as well, and then if we turn on the red light as well, because all 3 together will make white, I guess.
Yeah, they're all on.
But now what? Okay, do we have to find the right combination? So maybe if we just turn them all off except for the red one.
Yeah, okay, so let's give that a go.
Oh, there we go. So we needed yellow light.
But there was no...
But there's no indication
of that. We
could have been stuck there for a while just flipping switches at
So
random.
maybe my expectations are wrong here, but I was really excited when I saw those because I thought, what they have done is they've got some combination where you change the lights and under certain lights you can see certain platforms, but that means that the platforms have to be coloured for the lights. And actually what you might do is you might do something where if the platform matches the light, it disappears, if you see what I mean, rather than the other way around. So I'm now sort of confused. It feels like it's just random collections of switches. Let's go in here and see what's going on.
I say it's possible they're still just trying to take it easy as they introduce mechanics, but if that's so, like you've said I think twice now that it's a bit unclear exactly what these switches are doing.
Yeah.
Because some of them have made platforms appear, some of them seem to have made obstacles disappear.
Yes.
There's some more switches.
So that one's down.
So we've got a green one, and is that a blue one?
So, yeah, there's a blue one. A bit closer.
But the red one is... Is that stuck down? Can we interact with that?
Nope.
Oh, it's just a grey light.
So, but what does it do? So
if you turn back around, so there's that thing got lit up particularly blue when the blue switch was down, but I don't know if that was just sort of ambient light reflecting off of it.
Yeah, so it is blue. So if I just switch the blue light on, does it disappear? See,
is there something around this corner?
Ah! Did I miss that when I first came in, or has that changed?
I don't know, let's go back and flip the switches again and see if they're...
So...
If we try it with the green switch, does that look different?
So, right, so it was these two... So that one was down.
Yep.
And that one was up.
But it's going to be very difficult for us to see.
So let's go and have a look.
So it is still...
No,
so that's blocked off.
That's blocked off. So when I flipped a switch, it did look like it appeared.
So it's interesting. It feels like...
Why? So that was the green.
That's the thing. There's no real indication of it, and it feels like we've gone from a set of switches, like a very obvious obstacle, and a set of switches. And when we turn the switches, we can see, okay, now a block has appeared. But now they're forcing us to go around this corner to check what's happening.
And you could tell that because I kept checking this object here because they kind of taught me that I should be able to see the things which are being changed. So now we have white light, and now it's purple.
So does that mean we need red and blue? Or is that the door we came in through?
No, that was that's
that
the door. We came down there.
Did we? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I got disorientated in the dark.
I think so. Yeah, I'm the one driving, so that's why it's a bit easier.
There we go. So now we've got black light, and now that's disappeared.
But why?
Because it was purple.
Ah.
So if you put the white light back on.
You're right.
So under white light we can see that it's purple, and
therefore we need purple to open it. All right, that kind of makes sense. Yeah, that's kind of what I was expecting.
But the problem is the previous one, which I assume had the same rules, so it was turquoise and needed turquoise light. It was too dark to see what colour it was.
Yes.
So we couldn't really. Okay,
so here we got
another turquoise.
So here we got turquoise. So I like the mechanic. The mechanic's nice.
So presumably we need to turn off the
red, I guess. Yes.
Ooh, look at that. So the floor was turquoise as well, so that's the spit. Okay, so now it feels more like what we expected.
Yeah, now it feels like it's doing what we thought. Right.
Especially because, again, now we've pulled the switch and we've got an instant response. We can see that, okay, the floor behind us has now disappeared. We don't have to go poking around to try to figure it out.
Yeah, so what's interesting is, so the jump is a fixed length, which is why I was quite confused jumping across there. So I thought I could change the length of my jump in midair, and you can't. Once you've launched, you've launched. Right. Ooh,
okay, this looks interesting.
Okay, so if I flip the green switch, presumably it'll drop down to there, and then the red switch, probably.
Wait, so here's the question: where are we trying to get it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because if we get rid of the red one, and then presumably it'll drop down straight to there, but
or do we want it to drop off the side?
Is that what we want?
I don't know. I have no idea. Let's go and experiment. So if I flip that one.
Hang on, that's not changed the lights. So according to that, the green light was already on.
Yeah.
And we've just turned it off. So the fact that it respawns makes me think we want the red one to disappear as well.
Yes, it looks that way.
But hang on, this isn't changing the light. This is now just changing those objects. So it's sort of going against the metaphor that they've already set.
That's going down the bottom.
And if we turn the blue one on, another one will appear there, right? There we go.
There you go. And then it kind of drops into the white one, and we can go round. So the blue one.
That's interesting that it dropped a couple of them into the white one.
Yeah, it's odd, isn't it? Oops. Sorry, it was a bit of a. So could we? When did that appear? Did it appear?
The blue one when we turned the blue switch.
But these side bits. So
I think that was when we got it into the white.
Yeah. So then now it's there. It doesn't matter what I do the switch.
Yeah.
So again, I really like what they're trying to do,
I think in terms of quality,
they're just not
pretty nicely
quite
put together.
being consistent.
Yeah, but they're using seemingly mixed metaphors, because
Yes.
before, those switches have only ever affected the light, which has
Yeah.
then in turn affected stuff around it. But then it directly affected those red, green and blue blocks.
Whoop.
So now we've got a red room.
Oop.
Oop, something's appearing on the sides. Okay, so let's go this way, because
There's
this looks like a puzzle we've seen before.
There's all sorts of wacky things going on.
Okay, so you need to toggle the red on and off.
Yeah, so I'm presumably...
And then quick red one again. Oh no.
Where do I do the red one? I want to get down the bottom, don't I?
But it was going to slide off the thing on the top, I think.
Okay. There we go. So that...
And then we need the blue one again, quick.
Oh, got you. Oh, I see.
So we need it to just roll past that one and then... Ooh, physics. There we go.
Done it. Right.
And then... Okay, so I think that's one down, but again it spawns another ball. So maybe we have to repeat it? There's no there's no indication whether the thing we're trying to do has been done.
No. And also, there was another switch across here. Let's go and investigate.
And that's the thing, I don't know whether it's a case of we've done this side and now have to do the other side, or we need to get a certain number of balls into that trigger to actually activate it.
Oh my goodness. That was
Okay.
kind of a bit strange.
Okay, so what have we got here? It looks like there's some sort of pipe?
Yeah.
And what's that on the left?
There's the lights again.
Okay, that's just a cube. Oh, we're going to have to jump up there.
Can we see anything going on in this room?
I don't
There's
see...
no...
So this one is interesting. Oh, is that switch fallen off?
Yes.
Oh.
So I can't activate it. Oh, I can activate it. Can I?
I don't think so. I think you just activated the red one.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
So
I'm assuming that's intended and not just some of the assets falling
Sorry,
off.
did it come off the side here? Maybe that's what we did on the other side, maybe. So now we fiddle with that one. Has that changed anything over here? So, again, the problem is we're not getting the feedback.
So I'm getting a very Myst vibe to this. It's just a bunch of rooms with a bunch of levers, and we have to sort of go and experiment what's happening. Which I mean, it works for Myst.
It worked for Myst. But yeah. So I think I'm frustrated because at core I really like what they've done, but it just feels like they've just not quite got there.
Can we jump from there to there?
Yeah. Has this appeared?
No, I think that was there at the start.
So again, the jump mechanism's a bit strange. Yeah. So
what's up here? There's another blue switch up there.
alright, so let me try and get up there. Which I presume I have to do this way. Yeah, there's a core of an idea here which is really nice.
It feels like they have tried to jam a few too many concepts together. So I think just messing with the lights and sort of adding and removing obstacles would have been a perfect core concept by itself.
Yes.
But adding platforming and some of the other block puzzles with the balls and stuff, I like them, they're nice, but I think you could almost make each of those their own separate game.
Yes. Certainly, I mean, certainly the jumping around bit, you just don't need it.
In first person, it's particularly difficult.
Yeah, I'm trying to... Especially
with the lights. You can't really see where the...
And the jump mechanism they've got. So as I said, it's not like an ordinary jump mechanism. It launches you...
It just... puts you in a certain
way. So when I'm in the air there, I've got my hands off the controls.
And it's not... Are you sliding off the... So if you jump now... Oh, did we make it?
Yes.
Okay.
Just.
So if we turn this blue one off... But again, I don't know why we're doing this.
So the pipe thing, I see what they're doing now. It's a connection.
Yeah.
So the one at the bottom is broken. We can now see the one at the top. So that's quite cute. I mean, there's no way of knowing that when you first encounter it. But if we were to encounter it again, we'd know.
It would be much, much better if there was some indication that we needed to turn that blue light off.
Yes.
Like, because I presume we need to turn that blue light off to solve the puzzle, but I don't know how.
What puzzle? So, like, what is going on now if I toggle these? Does it do anything? So do you think it does anything over
well,
here?
this room is red, so what if we just set that light to red?
Okay, let's give it a go.
Because before it was purple because the blue switch was broken and the blue light was stuck on, so fine.
Or do we want it to be white?
I don't think so, because the blue light was stuck on and we had to go through all of that to be able to turn it off.
So here we go.
So has anything happened over here? Doesn't look like it.
What about in here?
So I think maybe we need to get a couple more of those balls into that trigger. But again, it's not obvious whether... Oh, you back at the top now. You need to turn the red one off and then you need to toggle the blue one on, I guess.
Here we go.
Like, it'd be nice if there was some indication that we've completed this bit of the puzzle. Because it disappears, but then we get a new one. So, again, is this...
Yeah, it's really...
Do we just have to get a certain number of them?
So at this point, I just don't have a clue, basically. I'm thinking, well,
Let's try
are
and
we
get
at the end of the
this one.
game? Have we done it? Have we not done it?
Let's try and get another one. Because I know the last one, we dropped several into it, and then they stopped spawning. So that's the only indication I've got that maybe...
Yeah, with you.
But yeah, it definitely has that sort of sort of exploratory kind of puzzle vibe. So sort of a bit like some of the original Tomb Raiders, where you were just running around a dungeon or a tomb, I guess.
So
pulling
actually,
levers.
that switch appears to have stopped working. Oh, no, there we go. Here we go. All right. Oh, you were right.
There we go.
But no indication at all that was the case. So
now back.
And also, I don't really know what.
Oh, that's the back of the thing. But there's something behind you now. There's a doorway.
There's a
Or
switch.
a switch.
Don't know what that does.
Has that just opened the door?
Oh, so we've got some other coloured lights on in here now.
Okay, so this has gone green.
So we've got green and red.
So if we turn this one to only be green,
or green and red.
no, I think just green. Let's try just green first.
Let's see what that does. Okay, here we go.
Okay, no. So now one of it's turned green.
Is that door as deeper than it was?
I don't know.
So,
Oh, that
was it.
There we did.
We did it. You were right. Okay, so what do you think?
So in terms of quality, it's quite nicely put together. They've got a bunch of different mechanics.
Yes.
And individually, I think those mechanics work quite nicely.
Yes.
But weird, I think one of my favourite bits is this first level, where it's just pull switch, receive solution to puzzle.
Yes.
And I think when they start combining some of these different things, it's a little bit... In some places, it seems to be a little bit counterintuitive.
Yeah, I think... I think the problem is that you mentioned earlier on mixed metaphors, and that's the problem. It's like either the switches are doing the lights, and there's some relationship between the lights, the colours of the things, and when they appear, or they're doing something else.
I think, like even just having different sort of switches, right? So you've got the big levers that do the lights, and maybe you've got a red, blue, and green button that do the blocks or something.
And that would be fine. And then they could thematically be consistent. Like I said, they don't really need the jumping.
Yeah. I mean,
just opening the routes kind of works. So I thought, but otherwise, I mean, I think in terms of the quality, it's very playable.
Yeah,
we've been sat here playing it and doing the puzzles, and it does make you think and it makes you explore. Having gone through it once, I'm still not sure I understand the relationships between everything.
That's the thing. Some of the sort of internal logical consistencies of the puzzles. They're not the sort of thing that you have to go around just flipping switches at random to try and figure out the internal logic before you can figure out the actual actual solution to the puzzle.
So what about the tutorial element?
You're not given a great deal of direction is the thing. So to start with, you're very constrained in what you can do.
Yeah.
So we can very easily figure out those first couple of puzzles because there's just a switch and we have to pull the switch. So far so good. But for this one, this isn't.
Yeah.
There's no internal logic to it. Why did yellow fix that?
Yeah. So there needs to be some indication that yellow would do the job, and then you'd be.
Unless maybe it's just too gloomy for us to see, but that wall was yellow.
Yeah, yeah. It's
But
difficult.
the
isn't
problem
it?
is, because we've got other coloured lights shining on it, we couldn't see that. So if they'd all been on, and we could see a big yellow wall, then we'd have a bit more of a clue. And the same when we get to the next puzzle, where
So
the wall's
presumably,
purple behind
so
us.
if I turn that one on, presumably it disappears. So this is white, right? So now we've got white light. So even if it was, you have to put the white light on. That wall is yellow, actually.
Is it? Yeah, you can
No,
just
wall's
about
yellow.
see it.
But I'd be looking at here. I'd say, why isn't this platform
Yeah.
yellow, right? I'd expect there to be like a yellow patch over here and then a yellow bit on the floor.
Well, no, because if the floor was yellow, the floor would disappear. So it's got to be that
But-
wall
but
has
some
to be
indication,
bright yellow,
yeah.
right? So that we can see, okay, if I turn
Yeah.
on a yellow light, then it will disappear.
Yeah, so it could be just to do with the general darkness.
But again, here,
And
this
then-
is purple, right?
Well,
And
yeah.
they do, so, okay, it is nice that they lead us towards it. So we
Yes.
can see, okay, here is
Yeah.
a big purple barrier, and then around this corner here are the switches. That bit is nice.
If we get all the lights on,
But they should absolutely start with all the lights on, so it's really obvious that it's
so
purple.
that looks blue.
So
Yeah,
we've-
or
we're
maybe
missing
introduce that as a factor. So I mean, in terms of the tutorial,
Oh, that's right, because this is the one with grey switch.
it's a shame. It's a shame that and this is a bit annoying. This one. It's a shame that they just had those controls at the beginning. It would have been nice to incorporate them into the game in some way. But actually, in terms of teaching you how to play, they're actually doing quite a good job. I think the flaw is not with the fact that the way that they're teaching you. The flaw is that because the puzzles are inconsistent,
Yeah.
you then get confused as to what exactly is going on. So the point is here it's
we've got to turn the green one off.
turn the green one off, and then
So this is the thing, it's...
that now makes sense.
This part of the puzzle is totally fine, 'cause it's like, okay,
Yeah.
big bright purple wall, I know I have to turn the green light off, but
Yes.
figuring out that, okay, this is a grey switch, and that means that
Yeah.
somewhere else there is a red switch. I mean, it's sort of misty in that
And-
you have to explore. to
And
do
here
it.
we know this is cyan colour. They've told us, which is great.
And all the lights are on, so we can clearly see it. No, the red one.
Red one. Sorry, turn it off and on. So that makes a lot of sense, right? So now I feel like it's a puzzle. I'm doing it. So what I really want, I suppose, is a room where there's a kind of a combination of different colours that I have to switch on and off in a certain order in order to get across the space.
Which is seems to be sort of what they've gone for with where you're
Yeah.
dropping the ball through the thing. But the
Oops.
fact that it's not the lights that are affecting it seems weird.
Yes.
Oh, this is reset you to... Okay, so that's another sort of nice quality thing. There is a checkpoint at the start of each level.
Yes, definitely.
It's interesting that it doesn't reset the
So I can't
lights.
go there. So
I wonder how...
yes, that's true.
how or
isn't it?
if this could break some of the
Ugh.
puzzles.
This is actually quite hard because of that length of jump thing.
Yeah.
So what about the core dynamic?
Do you know what they said the core dynamic for this was?
I don't actually know.
So if I had to guess, I would say spatial reasoning,
Yes.
because puzzle games often fall into this category, and we are very clearly we've
Oops.
been given an interesting sort of space, and we've been given some tools to get our way through it. So in terms of that,
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear it's spatial, and it's consistent as well, isn't it? So they're not.
more or less. So in terms of this puzzle and the one with the sort of big barriers,
Yeah.
yes, because we have some tools to navigate the space. But it's when we
Yep.
get to things like that, the two puzzles at the end, it's not clear how either of those things are helping us progress.
Uh-huh.
There, we're just sort of solving a puzzle
Yeah.
to get to the to I don't know, flip some switch that says,
Yes.
okay, you've now won, and there's no indication that getting through. So I guess sort of at a more granular level, yeah, those two puzzles are both about reasoning over space. One to sort of
Yes.
jump up to find the true switch, and one to sort of get the ball through the maze. But in the other, ooh, that was a very good jump.
Oh,
But the reason sort of overall we're trying to solve both of those puzzles
Yeah.
is not clear. It's not like there's a barrier that's stopping us, and solving one of
Yeah.
those puzzles also removes that barrier.
so interestingly, getting across here is actually another puzzle. Because my
Your
jump is a fixed
yeah.
length, I can't just choose. I have to. So that one, I've discovered that my jump is, I overshoot here, so I could jump from the
I was gonna
back,
say.
I guess. But actually, judging it's really hard.
Do you reckon that's by design, or do you reckon that's just we very quickly had to implement a jump?
I think it's a very quick jump thing, to be honest. Ugh. But yeah, I mean, other than so there are some niggles. I think this jump thing is getting ridiculous. But in terms of puzzle element, it's not bad at all.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of refining, and I think they'd actually have a really, really good game. I think kind of it feels like they've got all of the foundations here, and a little bit more thought on the level design, and a bit more consistency with the puzzles,
and focusing maybe on sort of one or
two of those mechanics, and they'd have been there. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, good job. I think we should wrap up. So that was just the one game for this video, but thank you very much for watching.